Buddy, how was that?
That was amazing.
Was it worth 4 years, buddy?
It was.
Guys, we just rode Harry Potter, and I'm gonna tell you, absolutely amazing.
I forgot about the giant spider.
Christmas Eve, 2017, Phoenix, Arizona. Inside a quiet apartment on North 16th Street, a father and his one-year-old son were singing carols for their social media followers. They were laughing. They were happy. To anyone watching, it was a perfect holiday moment.
Hey guys, smiling, and I'm hanging out with Nigel on Christmas Eve, and we're about to embarrass ourselves. We're gonna sing. You ready?
Yeah.
Me. Okay, sorry. You better watch out.
You better not cry.
You better not pout.
I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Dope.
That video was a countdown. 90 minutes later, the singing stopped. The gunfire started. By the end of Christmas Day, 3 people were dead. A mother, an 11-year-old boy, and a 10-month-old baby girl. The man who killed them had built a reputation teaching others how to change their lives. He was right about one thing. He had changed, just not in the way anyone imagined. This is the story of Iris Sutherland Ross and the 2 children she tried to save. Before we talk about what happened that day, we need to understand who Iris was. Because when people hear stories like this, the focus often shifts to the person who committed the crime. But that's not who this story belongs to. It belongs to the woman who was trying to hold everything together, while everything around her was quietly falling apart. Iris Sutherland Ross was a working mother, not the kind you see on magazine covers, not the kind with a carefully curated life online. She lived a real life. She worked. She paid the bills. She made sure there was food in the house. She showed up for her job, for her children, for the people who depended on her, while her husband built a public image. Iris built stability. Friends described her as dependable, the kind of person who remembered small details, the kind of person who asked how you were and actually listened to the answer. And when it came to her children, she was everything. Nigel was 11 years old. He had a natural warmth to him, the kind that made people feel comfortable immediately. He loved to laugh, loved being around people, loved being part of whatever was happening. He didn't need attention to be the center of a room. He just was. He was the boy in that Christmas video singing, smiling, completely at ease, completely safe. Or at least, that's what he believed. And then there was Anora, 10 months old, at that stage where every day brings something new. A new movement, a new sound, a new way of discovering the world. She had just started to crawl, just started to explore, just started becoming her own person. And Iris saw the danger. Not all at once, not in a single moment, but slowly, piece by piece, until it became impossible to ignore. She told people she was afraid, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, the way people do when they're trying not to make things worse. She spoke to a lawyer. She began planning a way out. She started separating parts of her life, preparing for the moment she could finally leave, because she understood something that the public didn't. The man she was living with was not who he claimed to be. To the outside world, Milan Ross looked like a transformation story, a man who had rebuilt himself, a man who had overcome his past, a man who stood in front of audiences and told them that change was possible. People believed him because he looked the part, because he sounded convincing, because the story he told was one people wanted to hear. But behind that image, everything was breaking down. Businesses were failing. Debt was growing. The lifestyle he presented publicly didn't match reality. And inside the home, control replaced everything else. He monitored Iris's movements, questioned her constantly, accused her without reason. It wasn't loud chaos all the time. It was something worse, unpredictable tension, the kind where you don't know what will set someone off. So you start adjusting yourself just to keep the peace. Iris lived inside that tension until she decided she couldn't anymore. When she told him she wanted to leave, it wasn't an argument. It was a shift, a line being drawn. And for someone who needed control, that line was everything. Because leaving meant exposure. It meant the image could crack. It meant the story he told the world could fall apart. And for him, that was not something he was willing to let happen. While Iris was planning her escape, Milan was planning something else entirely. December 10th, he searches life insurance payouts. Not casually, not out of curiosity. Specifically, December 15th, he searches how to clean blood, how to remove evidence. December 20th, he searches how long it takes for a body to decompose, what happens to it, how it smells, how it disappears. That same day, Iris sends a message to her sister. I'm scared. I don't know what he'll do. Think about that. Two people, same house, Samavik, moving toward two completely different futures. One trying to escape, the other making sure there would be no escape at all. On Christmas Day, everything collided. Iris arrived at the apartment to pick up her children. There was no reason to expect what was waiting for her. No warning in that moment. Just a normal day. Until it wasn't. Witnesses heard the gunshots. Sharp, sudden, breaking through what should have been a quiet holiday afternoon. They looked outside, and what they saw didn't make sense. Iris was on the ground. Milan stood over her, not panicked, not shouting, still. Then he turned, walked back inside, closed the door. By the time police arrived, the situation had already changed, because now there were two children inside that apartment, and no one knew if they were alive. The building was locked down. Neighbors evacuated.
Once a guest on TV shows, the weight loss entrepreneur was found guilty on 3 counts of first-degree murder, as well as 20 other counts connected to his arrest at an apartment near 16th Street in Highland. A 6-hour standoff turned into a gunfight with officers, and it spilled over into a parking lot where a photojournalist and I were standing.
Shot fired. Shot fired. Get all the way back.
Negotiators tried to reach him. They asked about the children. They told him to let them go. They told him it wasn't too late. When he finally responded, there was no urgency in his voice. No panic. No hesitation. I already killed them. Those words ended any hope that had been holding the situation together. But they still had to know. A robot was sent inside, room by room. Silence, and then confirmation. Nigel was gone. Anora never had a chance. 10 months old, still in the place she should have been safest. When officers entered, there was no final confrontation, no dramatic ending. Milan surrendered, calm, composed, as if the outcome had already been decided long before that day. The case that followed wasn't about figuring out what happened. That part was clear. It was about showing how deliberate it had been. The searches, the timeline, the preparation, the gap between the smiling video and what came next. It wasn't a moment of rage. It was a decision. Years passed before the trial began. But when it did, everything came together. The digital evidence, the messages, the timeline that showed exactly how this unfolded. The jury didn't just hear the story. They saw it, step by step, choice by choice. In March 2024, the verdict came back, guilty, 3 times. And for the first time, the story ended in a courtroom instead of behind a closed door. At sentencing, the court made its final statement. 3 life sentences. No parole. No version of the future where he walks free. But even that doesn't undo what was taken. Because this was never just about a crime. It was about a mother who saw the danger and tried to protect her children anyway. It was about a boy who trusted the wrong person, and a baby who never got the chance to become anything at all. Some people don't change. They just learn how to look like they have. And sometimes, the most dangerous person in the room is the one everyone else believes. Speak their names, Iris Sutherland Ross, Nigel Ross, Anora Ross. They are the reason this story is told, so they are never forgotten. If this story stayed with you, subscribe for more, and tell me what you think. Was justice enough, or should it have been different? I read every comment. I'll see you in the next one.